Hello and welcome to your mom's favorite channel. Today we'll be making something that everybody loves, pizza. We'll also be making a calzone, and on this we'll be putting some chorizo and some pepperoni. This product is from a local South African company called Herbivore, and they make some really good stuff. You've probably seen this on my channel a few times. I like supporting them because they have some really good product. So let's get making this pizza and calzone. So today we'll be making our own pizza base from scratch, and we'll also be making a pizza sauce using some tomatoes from scratch, and I will also be using this mozzarella style cheese from Violife. This stuff melts nicely and it's made specifically for pizza. I will also be throwing in some of their feta cheese. Let's start from the bottom and work our way up. Let's start with the dough. I'll be using some bread flour. Bread flour works better because it's got a higher protein content, and we will be making enough dough for 2 bases. So in a mixing bowl, get 2 cups of flour and about 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I like seasoning my crust, so I'll be adding 1 teaspoon each of onion powder and garlic powder. I should have done this step first, but get a 1 cup of lukewarm water, stir in 1 teaspoon of salt, then add half a packet of instant yeast, that's about 5 grams. And then just stir it in and leave it to bloom for about 10 minutes. And always mix and incorporate your dry ingredients before adding the wet ingredients. So it's been 10 minutes and Nori wants to know what's up in this bitch. Nori, I need to work, girl. Bye-bye. As you can see, the yeast is active and it's bloomed nicely, so just add that straight into your flour with 1 tablespoon of oil. Mix everything until it starts coming together. You might have to add a little more water. I added another 1/4 cup. And once everything starts coming together, get in there with your hands. Don't be scared. You can always wash them afterwards. I know that it might look very dry at the moment, but trust me, just start kneading, everything will come together. Just flour your surface if the dough gets a bit sticky. I kneaded this for about 10 minutes until it became smooth, and then you just want to divide your dough into 2 equal pieces, and then you want to grab the sides and fold it in on itself to form a nice little taut ball, and then rub it on the counter to seal the bottom of the ball. I know there's a lot of ball rubbing going on at the moment, but I promise you it's going to be worth it. Next step will be getting these balls to rest and rise. Next you want to lightly oil the plate, and don't be scared to get some of that oil on your balls. That will prevent your balls from sticking. Cover it with a damp cloth and put it in a warm place to rise for about 2 hours. So while that is rising, let's get ready with our sauce and pizza toppings. Look, with pizza you can add whatever your heart desires. If you want to put pineapple on that fucking thing, go for it. So all the ingredients I'm preparing right now will be going onto the calzone and the pizza. Half an onion will be plenty enough for both of them. I'll be cutting up some of these little sweet peppers. I like keeping this stuff organized by putting them in their own containers. Mushrooms always go well on pizza. I'll be using these little tomatoes to make the pizza sauce, so I'll just give them a rough cut. Make sure you use all the juices and everything for maximum flavor. 2 big cloves of garlic roughly chopped, and recently sun-dried tomatoes have become one of my favorite ingredients. Alright, let's talk chorizo. Damn, boy, it's a long ass sausage. I mean, look at that, it's got the fatty bits in it. Damn. Oh, fuck, this is good. Jeez, that's damn good. I like cutting stuff like this at an angle because you get a bigger surface area out of it. Alright, let's try the pepperoni. Look at it, it looks like the real thing. And it's also so good. It's got a sweet tinge to it. I love it. Okay, I think we need to get the pizza sauce going first. Let's go. So in a saucepan with a bit of oil, we'll be throwing in all the fresh tomatoes that we just cut. We'll be cooking that off for about a minute or 2. And just to be a bit different, I'll be adding some wine into this, about a 1/4 cup to be exact. And then just let that cook down for a little bit, add salt to taste. Then we'll be adding some of the garlic that we chopped earlier. Then add a heaped tablespoon of tomato paste, just stir that in. And because we're going with a whole meaty vibe, I'll be adding some barbecue sauce into this. This is totally optional. And I generally like my pizza sauce a bit sweeter, so I'm adding a teaspoon of sugar into this. And then just reduce it till it becomes nice and thick. And that's it, sauce is done. And then next we'll be getting the ingredients ready for the calzone. So in a pan on medium-high heat, we'll be frying off 3/4 of the onion that we sliced earlier with some garlic. We'll add some fresh ground pepper and some salt to taste. and we want to make sure to cook all of these ingredients till they're nice and soft. Add about 3/4 of the mushrooms we cut earlier with some sun-dried tomatoes. Cook that off for a little bit, take it off the heat and let that cool. Alright, look, I don't have a fancy pizza oven. I don't even have a pizza stone. So I'll be using this little pizza pan made out of metal with one of my oven trays to try and get as much heat onto the pizza as I possibly can. And I'm putting another oven tray on top of that to try and concentrate the heat onto the pizza. And then preheat your oven on maximum power for at least 20 minutes. By now your balls should have doubled in size. They should be nice, soft and airy. Get it onto a floured surface and start working it into something that resembles a pizza base. Look, by no means do I know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just trying to stretch this one out by hand. And I think for the next one I'd rather be using a rolling pin instead. Look, it didn't come out too shit, but you want to work it into more of an oval shape for the calzone. And then you want to start spreading the sauce on one half of the base. And remember not to go all the way till the edges. You need that clean edge to seal the calzone. And once you're happy with the amount of sauce, you can start putting your toppings on. I decided to only put some of the chorizo on this one. I added some prego sauce for a little bit of spice. And then add any combination and any amount of cheese that your heart desires. I know that a lot of people in South Africa have a hard time finding Violife cheese. Check the description down below. I'll leave a link to where you can buy this stuff in bulk. And then with a little bit of water, wet your fingers and just rub it all the way around the base. This will help the dough stick to itself once you fold it over. You just want to pinch the edges closed and then crimp it off with a fork. This will ensure that you won't get any leakage once it's being cooked. You take a cutting board or a plate, lightly floured, because I don't have a pizza peel to pick this thing up. Carefully pick it up, put it on the floured surface, and you want to brush it with some olive oil. That will help it brown up a bit more when you cook it. And now we are ready for the oven. The flour helps this to slide off easily, so let me show you how I get it in there. Try to get it off the cutting board in one motion, that way it won't break or bend, and then cook it till it's nice and brown. It takes roughly about say 10 to 15 minutes. I'm really happy with how this came out. Like, you don't need all the fancy ovens and stuff to make this. It was still nice and crispy, although next time I think I will put more cheese into the calzone. I remember the first time I had a calzone, I didn't really understand what it was, but you don't have to understand what something is for it to be tasty. And this was tasty as hell. Like one Limp Bizkit once said, "Alright partner, keep on rolling baby, you know what time it is. It's pizza time." Get your dough nice and flat, put it onto the cutting board so we can slide it off easily later. Brush the entire edge with some olive oil. Get your sauce on, leave some of the edges exposed. Go in with your cheese. I'll be putting a lot of cheese onto this one. Hey look, it's Jesus Christ, oh great lord. And then just go crazy with the rest of the toppings. To this one I added both the chorizo and pepperoni. I added a little bit of oregano and finished it off with a drizzle of olive oil. But we have a little bit of a problem. It's too heavy now and it's kinda stuck. So luckily I could get it moving around with a spatula. So let's get this into the oven for anything between 10 and 15 minutes. We almost had a bit of a disaster on our hands, but luckily I got it in one piece. I would have loved to see a bit more browning on the crust, even have some of those nice scorch marks, but hey, I'm still happy with how this came out. I mean, come on, this pizza looks fucking delicious. So yeah, let's eat. The crust was nice and crunchy, and you're just gonna have to take my word, but I think this was the best pizza I've ever made personally. Remember to subscribe, leave a comment, like this video, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.